All right. Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1361. I am trying to title this, and not everything is cooperating with me at this moment. Here we are. Okay. Today we are on Monday, Marcus Aurelius Meditations, translated by Gregory Hayes, Hays. Today we are in book 10. The last I remember reading, I'm going to have to start with number 9. Operatics, Combat, and Confusion. Sloth and Servility. What do I see over here? Oh. Every day they bled out those sacred principles of yours, which you daydream thoughtlessly about, or just let her slide. Just let slide. Your actions and perceptions need to aim at accomplishing practical ends, at the exercise of thought, at maintaining a confidence founded in understanding, an unobtrusive confidence hidden in plain sight. When will you let yourself enjoy straightforwardness, seriousness, or understanding individual things, their nature and substance, their place in the world, their lifespan, their composition, who can possess them, whose they are to give and receive? Number 10. Spiders are proud of catching flies, men of catching hares, fish in a net, boars, bears, Sarmatians, criminal psychology. Uh, Back to my childhood, not my criminal psychology. Last words next to. No. When I was a little kid, understanding what people said, I was running around playing. And my mother saw me, and she sat down next to my uncle, and she said, "Little Ying runs around looking at everything and all her toys, and she's looking for a toy, and it's as though it were so important. 好像是这么重要似的了." Oh. And my uncle looks up from his newspaper or book, and he says to her, "You know, it's because it is important to her." Spiders are proud of catching flies, men of catching hares, fish in a net, boars, bears, Sarmatians, criminal psychology. Interesting. That was number 10. Now we're on number 11. Good morning, John Clark. How are you doing? Want to be a stoic today? I don't know. I think you are stoic. You can be. You're a very cheerful man, too. Number 11. How they all change into one another. Acquire the ability to see that. Apply it constantly. Use it to train yourself. Nothing is as conducive to spiritual growth. Number 11A. He has stripped away his body, and realizing that at some point soon he will have to abandon mankind and leave all this behind, has dedicated himself to serving justice in all he does and nature in all that happens. What people say or think about him or how they treat him isn't something he worries about. Only these two questions. Is what he's doing now the right thing to be doing? Does he accept and welcome what he's been assigned? He has stripped away all other occupations, all other tasks. He wants only to travel a straight path to God by way of law. Now, I find this a very interesting statement because is what he's doing now the right thing to be doing? In real estate, when you take a course in real estate, they teach you something called the highest and best use, HBU. Is this the highest and best use of this property? My parents had a property, I'll tell you an example. An example is when a property is being used as a rental for a home or a store, but the property value it sits on is so great that there was so much traffic around it, there was so much foot traffic around it, that the best thing, the highest and best use would be actually the cost of just raising it, razing, and building a multi-level building on it, and let the other parts be residences, because you could fill them up very easily with the population or the overpopulation in that city, and then the downstairs be a commercial property because there's so much foot traffic that you could have dry cleaners there. um, so that's called the highest and best use. Now what this gentleman, this emperor said uh, is what he's doing now the right thing to be doing? Now that's wisdom. Knowing the right thing to do is wisdom. As we say, as I say, I try to inspire you to do something of virtue. Well, virtue is doing the right thing. See? So then the other question he says to X is, does he accept and welcome what he's been assigned? Well, I don't know who said it, and I don't know exactly how it was said, but I've heard, when I was a child, I heard some old men saying things like, well, he stopped doing it, so he might as well enjoy what he's doing. I think I saw it on TV or something in San Francisco. It was great. Might as well enjoy it. So the way to enjoy it sometimes is to get a cup of lemonade, get a glass of lemonade, sit down with a cup of tea, take your break with it, and look at what you've accomplished. Number 12. Why all this guesswork? You can see what needs to be done. If you can see the road, follow it cheerfully without turning back. If not, hold up and get the best advice you can. If anything gets in the way, forge on ahead, making good use of what you have on hand, sticking to what seems right. The best goal to achieve, and the one we fall short of when we fail. Ooh. So find something that you could fail at. Is that what he's saying? Find something you could fail at and try to do your best to succeed. Yesterday, I saw something by J.J. Villar. Villar. I can't pronounce it that well. Villar. Villar. Now, his wish when he was a child was to dance for Michael Jackson. He saw Michael Jackson. Oh, I'm going to talk more about this guy. J.J. Villar. I have a selfie with him somewhere. He was at both of the secret knocks that I've been to. I don't remember if he was at the other one, but anyway, he's a great dancer, and he is like physically probably just as strong as those martial arts people that I see in the Chinese opera, the Quincy opera performances that I've shown you guys before. Oh my God. And I've seen him wave a pennant, a pennant, a big old flag, and a bigger one than they used in some of the Chinese opera ones. Not the biggest, but the bigger than normal. And I mean, in Chinese opera, they had a huge, gigantic one as well that probably, oh my God. Anyway, so JJVR's point was, you say, what is his point? Let me take a look again. Sticking to one sweet falls. Oh, that's what he said. He said, every day I do something that scares me a little bit, and that's the way I grow. Isn't that interesting? Do something every day, one thing that scares you a little bit. Can scare you a lot, can scare you a little, but if you do something that scares you, you're actually growing. You're expanding every day. Every day the answer can change a little, but goodness gracious. So that's one thing he said. Now that I'm remembering his video that I watched yesterday, I'm also remembering that he said, I mean, okay, first of all, the way I know him is seeing him on stage. The other way I know him is seeing him on the dance floor. This man can dance. Oh my God. He ends like, he can do isolations like nobody can. And this man can dance. Anyway, so every time I go to see him, I say, man, I can't remember his name. I love the way you dance. That's all I say. And then one time I finally said, here, my selfie, your selfie, let's text each other our full names. So now I have his name in my cell phone. And but anyway, he dances like you would not believe. You gotta go put him on, get him on YouTube, and you'll see there's this one where Monitor Your Millions, I think is the one that they Monitor Your Millions interviewed him. And oh my God, he carried that interview to its pinnacle. I think Monitor Your Millions never had to, I think it was Manage Your Millions or Monitor Your, anyway, just YouTube JJVILLAR. You'll find he's from Bogota, Colombia. Colombia is right next to Panama. Panama used to be a part of Colombia. And guess why Panama is no longer a part of Colombia? The reason is that we, the USA, created the Panama Canal. We got them somehow to do that, and we got them to secede from Colombia. Now, Colombia is not too happy about that. But anyway, so this man, he's from Bogota, Colombia, and he was a child. He got here when he was maybe 14 or something like that, if I have my facts right. And he, JJVR, I have to say, he learned a lot. And he's in alignment with Marcus Aurelius. I'll say that. He probably doesn't know that, but if he sees this, he should be proud. Anyway, so I don't want to monopolize Marcus Aurelius with JJVR, but it's pretty close, huh? Okay, so number 12A, to follow the Logos, which is the universe, which is the version of God, to follow the Logos in all things is to be relaxed and energetic, joyful and serious at once. How do you be relaxed and energetic? A lot of the time, as Americans, we fail to realize that having a lot of energy and being still are sometimes seen as incongruent, but actually having a lot of energy doesn't necessarily mean that you're hyper. Having a lot of energy means you could get up and run a marathon, but you just happen to be sitting there sipping your lemonade or drinking your coffee or having your water like you're supposed to do, water first. And wow. Anyway, number 13, when you wake up, ask yourself, does it make any difference to you if other people blame you for doing what's right? It makes no difference. Have you forgotten what the people who are so vociferous in praise or blame of others are like as they sleep and eat? Forgotten their behavior, their fears, their desires, their fasts, and their depredations, not physical ones, but those committed by what should be highest in them? What creates when it chooses loyalty, humility, truth, order, well-being? I'll give you the answer to that. Yin Yang says it's a virtuous person. A person who knows what the right thing to do is. That's a wise person. A person who does the right thing that he knows is the right thing to do is a virtuous person. Number 14, nature gives and nature takes away. Anyone with sense and humility will tell her, give and take as you please, not out of defiance, but out of obedience and goodwill. Nature gives and nature takes away. Anyone with sense and humility will tell her, give and take as you please, not out of defiance, but out of obedience and goodwill. What it's saying is that we need to have obedience and goodwill toward nature. In other words, remember that, what was that butter margarine commercial where the actress says, "It's not nice to fool Mother Nature." And it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Do you remember that? She goes like, "Oh," and the whole place goes thunderous and snow and something. Um, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. And that's true. That's always been true. Never imagined that a margarine commercial could take us into stoicism. But anyway, what he's saying is, give and take as you please is what you should be saying to nature. Give and take what you please, not out of defiance, but out of obedience and goodwill, because nature is all good. Even though we feel like it's bad sometimes, it actually is a little bit like saying, what my friend Lori used to say, everything happens for a reason. Number 15, only a short time left. Live as if you were alone out in the wilderness. No difference between here and there. The city that you live in is the world. Let people see someone living naturally and understand what that means. Let them kill him if they can't stand it. Better than living like this. Ooh. What he's saying is that if you live an evil life, something's going to happen that's really bad to punish you. Just like the Christians say, the sins of the father shall be visited upon the sons. Well, guess what? Some of my ancestors really fucked up. Excuse my saying that. Okay, number 16 says to stop talking about what the good man is like and just be one. Wow. Number 17, continual awareness of all time and space of the size and lifespan of the things around us. A grape seed in infinite space, a half twist of a corkscrew against eternity. I'm going to read that one again. Number 17, continual awareness of all time and space. Okay, I kind of got that one. Of the size and lifespan of the things around us. Cockroaches live a few weeks, cats live a few years, humans live a few decades. Okay, whales live a long time, turtles can live centuries. Okay, got that. A grape seed in infinite space. Okay, okay. A half twist of a corkscrew against eternity. What it's saying is, get an idea that you're so tiny and the amount of time you're going to live is so little. That's what it's trying to say. And just like kittens are little, you know, everything is relative. Number 18, bear in mind that everything that exists is already fraying at the edges and in transition, subject to fragmentation and to rot, or that everything was born to die. Okay. Well, I kind of want to just keep talking instead of reading, because Marcus Aurelius was a very wise man. He lived around the time of the beginning of Christianity. A lot of people knew these things and lived long lives because of them, or they lived short, happy lives, not long, sick lives. There is a difference between living a very, who said it yesterday? I saw, they said, I'd rather live a life, I would rather live to be, it was Andrew Huberman on an interview with Chris Williams. Chris Williams was interviewing Andrew Huberman, and then I saw an interview of Andrew Huberman interviewing that guy named Charles, oh, anyway, and then Singleton or something. Have I taken on a new title? Here, let me put this on the screen. Yay, yippee. My goal is, they say, to create a program. And my creating a program means, they say that they only accept programs that are 24 minutes long. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, am I going to be able to make it? Maybe slowly. We'll see. Okay, so what was I going to say? I can't remember anymore. So we'll just talk tomorrow. We'll be talking about the rules, which, Sherry Schneider likes it to be somewhere between 1.5 to 4 minutes, so I say to her, I can do 4 minutes to 11 minutes. And now they're telling me 24. That's what Greg Reed said on stage. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll talk to you later. And thank you, Marcus Aurelius. Okay, old Kinderhook.